Today in the show, we have the House of Mouse headlines brought to you by LaughingPlace.com, your up-to-date resource for the latest Disney news every day of the week. This episode is being released on March 8th, 2023, and here's what's been going on in the world of Disney recently. ROGERS the musical is becoming a reality, terrible TikTok trends causing crackdowns at theme parks, some new arrivals at Batuu East, and more.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
More than a year after Pixar's Turning Red was released, a character from the film will be making her Disney Parks debut. As part of its spring festivities, Shanghai Disneyland will feature Red Panda May in the coming weeks. The resort says, with her cute and fluffy look and fun-loving attitude, Red Panda May is sure to charm her way into the hearts of all guests. However, it's not clear whether the character will be available as a meet and greet or just appear in the park's cavalcade. Either way, hopefully this adorable red panda will make her way to the domestic parks in the future. The 2023 EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival is now in bloom at Walt Disney World. This year, when guests enter the park, they'll come across new topiaries featuring members of the family madrigal. Plus, keeping with that theme, a new Spaceship Earth light show featuring What Else Can I Do from Encanto has been added to the repertoire. You can catch these offerings and much more at the EPCOT Flower and Garden Festival happening now through July 5th. Following a similar change at Disneyland, Magic Kingdom's It's a Small World is embracing the inclusion key with a new modification. Last week, a new doll in a wheelchair was welcomed to the attraction. This is part of Disney's efforts to make their parks more vibrant, more inclusive, and more relevant. In fact, Walt Disney Imagineering says it continuously considers updates to parks and experiences to better reflect the world around us. As mentioned, a similar change was recently made to Disneyland's version of the ride and will be seen when Disneyland Paris's attraction reopens this year. In a surprise move, The Mandalorian and Grogu began appearing at Disney's Hollywood Studios last week as the third season of the hit show debuted on Disney+. The duo previously arrived at Disneyland's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, leaving fans wondering when they'd be coming to Batuu East. Notably, on the same day that they landed at Walt Disney World, the pair also began appearing in Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris. While that meet and greet is currently set to end on March 14th, no departure date for the Hollywood Studios offering has been announced. Just in time for the spring season, Disney's Typhoon Lagoon Water Park is set to reopen on March 19th. In addition to its normal daily operations, the water park will welcome back H2O Glow after-hours events this summer, with these parties taking place on select nights from May 20th through September 2nd. When the park does reopen, guests can look forward to new food and beverage items, including some fruity new Dole Whip flavors like watermelon, mango, pineapple, strawberry, and raspberry. For more information and for water park hours, be sure to visit Walt Disney World's website. When Typhoon Lagoon reopens on March 19th, Walt Disney World will still only have one water park available to guests, as Blizzard Beach will close on that same day and undergo refurbishment. No reopening date has been set yet, but the resort has not had both parks open since before the pandemic. So you may want to hit the slopes of Blizzard Beach before March 18th before you miss your chance. Earlier this year, it was announced that Walt Disney World would soon be adjusting its reservation policy, granting annual pass holders more flexibility. Now we have an official date for when that change will happen. Starting April 18th, Walt Disney World pass holders will be able to visit the parks after 2 p.m. without needing a reservation. However, the exception to this rule is at Magic Kingdom on Saturdays and Sundays. Commenting on this change, the parks blog wrote, "While the theme park reservation system remains important to manage attendance in our parks, especially on busier days, we realize our pass holders enjoy more spontaneous visits, and this change will make that possible." We also now have a date for when Walt Disney World's Genie Plus service will gain a new benefit. Starting March 20th, guests who purchase Genie Plus will also have complimentary access to on-ride attraction photo digital downloads. This update isn't to be confused with a similar offering from the Disneyland Resort, where guests can currently download their on-ride attraction photos for free just by having a theme park ticket. Some of the attraction photos included in this Walt Disney World update include Space Mountain, Slinky Dog Dash, Test Track, Expedition Everest, and more. As a reminder, the price of Genie Plus now varies by day and can sell out on any given day. More Disney After Hours events are headed to Walt Disney World. What's more, EPCOT is getting in on the fun. With an event ticket, guests can experience EPCOT for 3 hours after the gates close and get access to top attractions like Frozen Ever After, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Additionally, their ticket will get them access to the park as early as 7 p.m., and during the event itself, they'll enjoy complimentary ice cream, popcorn, and select bottled beverages. Disney After Hours at Epcot takes place on select nights from June 1st to August 24th, with tickets on sale now ranging from $129 to $139 per adult. After more than 50 years, the Reedy Creek Improvement District is no more. Recently, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis held a press conference at what was the Reedy Creek Fire Station to sign a bill that turns control of the district's board over to the state. Now, the area is known as the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Before signing the bill, DeSantis declared, quote, "Today, the corporate kingdom finally comes to an end," and invited guests to speak on their Disney experiences, which mostly involved the resort's past vaccine and mask mandate policies, as well as content in their media, rather than on the Reedy Creek district itself. Sounds like we have people who know what they're talking about here. Hey, one speaker even cited the show Little Demon as an example of how Disney has forsaken its family focus, while failing to mention that the show in question airs on FXX. DeSantis also announced the 5 people he will appoint to the board, stating that he selected members with a variety of experience, including business, local government, and those who, quote, "want to see Disney be what Walt envisioned." Because I'm sure these folks know what Walt envisioned. Controversially, one of those nominated members, Ron Perry, has previously stated that homosexuality is shameful and has suggested that estrogen in tap water could be responsible for an increase in homosexuality. Sounds like a scientist to me, doesn't he? The first meeting of the new Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board is set to take place on the day this episode is released. Therefore, it's a sad day in Walt Disney World history. With the 95th Academy Awards just around the corner, both the Disneyland and Walt Disney World resorts are celebrating with limited-time food options and Oscar-worthy photo ops. Starting with the Disneyland Resort, the historic, one-of-a-kind, Snow White-inspired Oscar statues awarded to Walt Disney in 1939 will be on display at the Carthay Circle restaurant in Disney California Adventure. Additionally, from March 10th through the 12th, you can indulge in some Oscar-worthy sweets just steps away from Carthay Circle Restaurant at Award Wieners in Hollywoodland. At Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, guests may walk the red carpet and snap a pic next to the larger-than-life Oscar statue near the lobby of the hotel, available through March 15th. Over at Walt Disney World, guests can head over to Disney's Hollywood Studios for some great Oscar-themed treats, including a tropical tart topped with an Oscars chocolate coin and a specialty popcorn blend at select popcorn carts throughout Disney's Hollywood Studios until March 12th. The 95th Oscars will be held this Sunday, March 12th, and air on ABC. Disney legend Josh Gad recently fulfilled a lifelong dream as he was able to step into the role of Jungle Cruise skipper at the world-famous Disneyland attraction. With a cast member by his side and cameras pointed firmly in his direction, Gad traversed the ride while issuing many of its iconic quips. But Gad saved what was perhaps the best joke for last, saying, quote, "If you enjoyed this video, I'm Josh Gad. If you didn't, I'm Josh Tomorrow." You can find the full clip on the Disney Parks YouTube channel or an alternate version on the Disney Parks TikTok. After introducing Magic Band Plus earlier this year, the Disneyland Resort has now added a new feature. Now, guests can use their Magic Band Plus to interact with select Disney 100 medallions around the resort, as well as the Platinum Mickey Mouse statue in downtown Disney. While this is similar to the interactions found at Walt Disney World with the Fab 50 statues, there's not quite as much variety to these effects. Still, if you already have a Magic Band Plus, it may be worth trying on your next visit to the Disneyland Resort. Following the return of Earl of Sandwich at Downtown Disney last month, the new concept called Earl of Sandwich Tavern has now debuted as well. This table service restaurant, which shares the former La Brea Bakery space with the counter service Earl of Sandwich, features a menu that goes far beyond sandwiches. Some examples include the breakfast dishes croissant French toast, breakfast slam, and avocado toast, as well as sesame ginger salmon, spaghetti and meatballs, fish tacos, and roasted prime rib of beef, among other lunch and dinner items. Earl of Sandwich Tavern is now open, although this is still a temporary location at this time. After a bit of a debacle, including a botched rollout, the theme song to Disneyland's nighttime spectacular Wondrous Journeys is now streaming. The song, It's Wondrous, is performed by Devin Garcia and Rudy, while the exit music version features Lawrence. Both tracks are now available on several streaming services. Soon, the most loyal and frequent Disney Cruise Line sailors will see new benefits when Castaway Club Pearl Tier debuts. Those who have taken at least 25 Disney Cruise Line sailings will qualify for this new tier being added above Platinum. Pearl status will launch on May 1st and includes exclusive activities, early booking window, a complimentary digital photo package, and more. This update comes as Disney Cruise Line prepares to celebrate its 25th anniversary. For more information, visit DisneyCruiseLine.com. When Disney Theatrical's Hercules show concludes its run at the Paper Mill Playhouse, the stage musical will be headed to Europe. It's been announced that the show will be opening in Hamburg, Germany in spring 2024. This production of Hercules includes a roof-raising score by Alan Menken and David Zippel that not only works in the hits from the film, but also new songs written for the stage. The show also features a new book by Robert Horn and Kwame Kwai-Armah, and direction by Obie Award-winning Lear de Bessonet. In the meantime, Hercules is currently performing at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey through March 19th. Miley Cyrus and Disney are reuniting. The Hannah Montana star is getting a new Disney Plus special celebrating her latest album. Miley Cyrus' Endless Summer Vacation Backyard Sessions will premiere on Friday, March 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Disney Plus, and feature Cyrus performing her massive hit song Flowers alongside 7 other tracks from her Endless Summer Vacation album. Additionally, the film promises one of her chart-topping classic hits and a special performance with Rufus Wainwright. So get ready for the best of both worlds when Endless Summer Vacation Backyard Sessions arrives on Disney Plus this Friday. The cast of Disney Plus's The Santa Clauses is expanding ahead of the show's second season. First, Eric Stonestreet, best known for his role as Cam on Modern Family, has been cast as Mad Santa, who reigned during the 14th century and is now returning to try and take down Scott Calvin and reclaim the North Pole. Then, actor and comedian Gabriel Iglesias has also been added to the cast, reportedly playing an optimistic owner of a Santa-themed theme park called Santaland. No release date for The Santa Clauses Season 2 has been announced, but you can likely bet that it'll arrive before this December 25th. And now it's time to welcome back Kyle Burbank from laughingplace.com, looking absolutely stylish in those amazing glasses that none of you can see, and his Steve Jobs-like black tee. What's going on, my friend? Oh, it's an Avengers
logo.
tee.
Yeah. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm okay. It's been, it's been a couple weeks of just life.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yes, life.
Time is weird. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my body because I say that way more often than I probably should. But time is weird.
You could get a really cool design for that. I think you should. Where would you put it?
Well, on my body, where would I put it? Well, if I had the body I would like, I would put it places. These days, I would probably put it. Probably like across my wrist. I kid you not. I always say if I was going to get it like a tattoo tomorrow, it would be Silenzio Bruno. I love Silenzio Bruno. I love everything about it. So
You could turn the top of your head into like a clock.
I'm not tattooing my head. Please, I am not a WWE wrestler, okay?
You do voiceover. Who's going to see you? What's the difference?
I don't think it would work out too well for me. But when you said you should do something that you could look good in a good font, I was thinking to myself, actually, our pal, Phil DeFranco, he could make a good t-shirt out of that. Just saying.
I mean, he's made some worse t-shirts.
Yeah, maybe I should text that hotline and be like, t-shirt idea. Actually, didn't we do that once based
I was
off
going
of
to say,
something?
didn't you have last time we discussed you had a t-shirt idea for him?
Yeah, but I think it was your idea, and I said I'm going to text Phil DeFranco, and I think I did. Never heard back. How dare he?
Surprise.
One of these days, he's going to become a huge Disney Coast to Coast fan and start listening and be like, these guys talk about me a lot, and these Disney listeners probably have no idea who they're talking about, but in any case, how about this? Anybody, if you've started looking into Phil DeFranco because of Kyle and my obsession of him, please let me know. Shoot an email. You can find that info in the show notes or in the episode description. In any case, let's move on to some less happy news because Disney legend Bernie Mattinson, who worked as an animator, director, producer, and story artist at Walt Disney Animation Studios during an unprecedented 70-year, that's 70-year career, passed away Monday, February 27th at the age of 87. Now, Mattinson was the longest-serving cast member in the history of the Walt Disney Company, longer than Walt, my goodness, and was due to receive his 70th Anniversary Service Award, the first ever, on June 4th. Among Mattinson's achievements were a solo directing credit on the 1983 animated featurette Mickey's Christmas Carol, which I absolutely adore, and a role as producer as well as co-director of the 1986 Disney feature The Great Mouse Detective. Mattinson was still working full-time at Walt Disney Animation Studios as a story consultant and mentor at the time of his passing. He served as a key member of the story team on contemporary Disney classics, including Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan, and Mulan. So, oh my goodness, that's just like the sweet spot for where I was growing up and you as well.
For sure.
And I mean, gosh, talk about making an impression on the Walt Disney Company. The man had his fingers in like every animated feature to come through, it sounds like.
Yeah, this is like when you think of a Disney legend, this is what you expect, not someone who did, a voice in one popular movie.
Yeah.
Maybe two popular movies because there's a sequel.
Are you talking some Disney legend sass right now? Is that what's happening?
Or someone who
shade?
maybe, sang a song in a Disney movie and was on a few episodes when they were a teenager. Also, not what I think of as a Disney legend.
If you don't stop with the Disney legend shade, you're going to be getting a call from our pal Aaron Wallace, author of Thinking Fan's Guide to Walt Disney World.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this is, a Disney legend through and through. And wow, I guess I didn't know he was still working there, but 70 years, that's crazy. And it's so sad that he fell short of getting that award.
It's sure, but let's just look at the bright side here. First of all, 87 years is a beautiful life.
Yeah, pretty good.
70 years at a company, and let's not pretend. I'm sure there were bad times. It's a job, but like this was his dream job at a young age. At 18, I think he said, like, this has been his only job. He never worked at Starbucks. When was Starbucks invented? I don't even know. But
I don't think it was 70 years ago.
But he wasn't working at a grocery store. Maybe he did as a younger, but you know what I mean? Like his entire career was working at a place that he wanted to work. What an amazing life. And beyond just like doing the jobs he did, he survived all of those layoffs. He survived just the ups and downs at Walt Disney Animation Studios. He survived all of those reshufflings. Like this man is irreplaceable. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah. So may he rest in peace, and thank you to him for all of the amazing content he brought over. I mean, what is that? Three or four generations worth of Disney fan kids?
Yeah, probably.
Unbelievable. Now, Kyle, for this next story, I need you to take out your crystal ball because...
Oh, okay.
Ooh, There we go. Bring out a Magic 8 Ball. I would love that. Because Rogers the Musical, the in-universe musical show that first was seen on Marvel's Hawkeye on Disney Plus, is coming to the Hyperion Theater at Disney California Adventure for a limited time this summer. Did you call it or did you call it? Everybody called it.
I'm pretty sure I got multiple texts that said I called it. So.
You got it. Great. The short one-act musical will be a timeless story of a timeless hero, and more details will be announced soon. Disney Parks teased the show with a video of Peggy Carter walking toward the Hyperion Theater holding a playbill for Rogers the Musical. The show, at least as it's seen in Hawkeye, is a musical retelling of the events of The Avengers when Loki led an attack on New York only to be thwarted by the Avengers. At least that's what we've all seen from the show thus far, with a musical number Save the City being shown in Hawkeye. Longtime award-winning songwriting team Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman co-wrote the lyrics. And so it's happening. This was the rumor, and it's real now. It's coming from the folks at Disney Live Entertainment. Let me tell you, those people can keep secrets, because I know people working on this, and they never uttered a word to me. And I was like, really, guys? Really? They're like, NDAs, Jeff, NDAs. Those are to be broken. Anywho, yeah, it's happening. You must be excited. Any plans to come out this summer, assuming it's real?
We have a lot going on, so I'm not sure we'll be able to make it out, unfortunately, but I really want to, because I think this sounds really cool. The thing I think is kind of funny, though, in the tweet, they described it as a short one-act musical, kind of emphasizing the shortness of it. So, if you think about it, Aladdin was 45 minutes. I'm guessing this will probably be 20 to 30, probably at least I would guess 25 minutes. I know some people thought maybe they would literally just come out and do Save the City with like a little bit before that. I don't think so. I think there'll be a full story, especially based on have you seen that they updated the breakdowns with the actual character names?
Yeah, I saw that they're now casting officially. And my guess, if I had to guess, I would say, in fact, let's just do this and try and remember. I'm going to say 5 songs total.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good guess, honestly. I mean, a varying length. I think they'll have to, even if it's a one act, I feel like, okay, so Save the City has the I can do this all day refrain. So that would be, you have to foreshadow that. So you have to have the I can do this all day. So then Save the City is really like a reprise of that earlier song.
Okay. What earlier song? Is there a song in the show that I'm unaware of?
Well, there's the only song that exists so far is Save the City. But he says, I can do this all day, which is his like tagline, but it came from an early in the Captain America movies. It comes from early in his life. So I'm just thinking that this show has to have a reprise of something. And so it makes sense if Save the City really is a reprise of an earlier song called I Can Do This All Day.
Gotcha. All right. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Here's the thing I'm wondering. So they keep stressing this is limited run. As I said before, limited run means nothing to me. Main Street Electrical Parade is a limited run, right? I know they're saying it's just this summer. I'm wondering, is this super niche? Is it going to really just be summer, or do you think this is going to blow up? Because obviously there are some diehards out there, right? Like in fact, I got a text immediately when this was announced from a buddy who was like, if you get a press event for this, I want to be your +1. And I just had to laugh. But I
think there's challenges with it, honestly. Like, yeah, it's Marvel, but at the same time, the production and the way the characters act are supposed to be cheesy, because Hawkeye walks out of this musical in the show, and also that's not the most successful show they've ever done, but because it's not the characters we know from the movies, it's their interpretation of these real life heroes in their world. There's a lot of like gray areas and some things that are gonna be like, wait, that's not how I know Captain America. It's like, well, no, this is Steve Rogers in the universe. So I think that there are some things there that might lead the uninitiated to be a little confused or even disappointed if they think that it's like lacking production value, when the whole point is that it's supposed to be lacking production value to a certain extent.
Waiting for Guffman at the Hyperion Theater.
Working, never stopping, never sleeping, working, some for sale and some for keeping.
I love you so much right now. And if anybody listening knows what the heck we're talking about, I love you as well. Oh my God.
Nothing ever happens in Blaine, Jeff.
Nothing ever happens in Blaine. If you don't know what we're talking about, go stream or rent somewhere. Can you still rent stuff? Waiting for Guffman. Christopher Guest brilliance. Anywho, here's something that I think is kind of interesting. The way that they're stressing limited run this summer only. To me, that means either A, they have plans for another show to come in, or B, they have plans to demolish the building. Because otherwise, why would they be stressing that so much? Like, just open the show, see how it does, and close it when it stops being popular.
I don't know if they do have the concerns, especially because you can't even call it Marvel. You know, if they do have concerns about the viability of it, because it's going to be sort of like a weird experiment, maybe they're just hedging and they don't want people to think that they opened a brand new musical after however many years and then it flopped.
Okay, that's a fair point. Speaking of the they can't say Marvel thing, did I tell you about at a press event I was at, this would have been earlier this year, they had a whole display, I think it was from the new Black Panther movie, and they had a display of costumes in that makeshift Avengers store over in Hollywoodland. And above it, like in the back, you know, they had this whole printed background, and it was a dark background, but I could tell that they like black taped out something above the title. I was like, what the heck did they tape out here? And I just so happened to see one of the like media people that I had just interviewed. I was like, hey, what's going on with that? And what's with the black tape? And he goes, what black tape? And then he goes, no, he's like, honestly, it says Marvel. And we had to black out. I'm like, holy crap. Like, that contract, I always thought it was an whole east of the Mississippi thing. And I knew they had to call it Avengers Campus because of that, but I'm like literally hanging a poster that says Marvel Black Panther. It's that extreme.
Yeah, I'm surprised with some of the merchandise because there's Marvel tags on that, I think. But yeah, remember when the press release came out for World of Color 1, it said, you know, with Disney and Pixar and Star Wars and Avengers.
Wow, that's so crazy to me. Somebody needs to get on that. But in any case, so Avengers Campus is expanding at least temporarily, is what I say.
The stand is already over there, right? Or the seating for the.
But it is in the load area, yes, in the queue for the theater. But now it's in the theater, and even a little beyond that, there's the photo op with that cartoon of Marvel character.
Yeah, that's specifically not part of Avengers Campus.
Yeah, which is weird, but whatever.
That's because that character appears, not Moon Girl doesn't appear, but Lunella appears in the queue for Web Slingers.
Yes. Anywho, let's talk some more about Avengers Campus because Disneyland has installed new warnings at Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in Disney California Adventure as a dangerous new TikTok trend encourages riders to bypass safety protocols. That sounds smart. Some videos on the popular social media site have encouraged riders to loosen or improperly secure their seatbelts to increase airtime during the free fall portion of the attraction. The new signs installed this week read, quote, keep seatbelt securely fastened and tight against the waist. Failure to follow instructions may result in being asked to leave the park. Kyle, now, would you like to quote our favorite YouTuber?
Don't be stupid, stupid.
That's right. Don't be stupid, stupid. Come on, guys. Don't make them shut this ride down or require extra safety measures, please. This is just dumb. For your own safety, and if you don't want to do it for your own safety, for just the sanity of everybody else. Don't be stupid. This is stupid.
Speaking of stupid, though, stupid. Did you see the clip from the news? I think it was on KTLA.
Tell me they showed the Tower of Terror. Please tell me that
they did not. They showed Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
No, they did not. Shut up.
The entire time. I will send you the clip. And I think that the one host kind of realizes it because he's like vamping and then he's like, all right, I'll just read the story. But yeah, they show the entire time Cosmic Rewind while talking about Mission Breakout.
And this was in LA?
I'm pretty sure it was LA. I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
Like, I get it. I don't expect everybody to know everything outside of Disney. But come on. Doesn't anybody label their videos anymore? They just pulled it. They just went to YouTube, typed in Guardians of the Galaxy Disney, and showed the first thing. That's so ridiculous. Alrighty. Let's move on, because Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is now using a standby queue instead of a virtual queue at a
standby queue.
Oh my
Stand by Q.
Wow. Well, this is a very musical episode of House of Mouse Headlines. This is at Disneyland in Mickey's Toontown, the unopened Mickey's Toontown. This was a shocker. This is less than a month that they've used virtual. I mean,
speaking of Cosmic Rewind, like that one's the virtual queue still going strong. So people are a little annoyed by that.
Yeah. Now, Disney does note that the attraction may switch to virtual queue throughout the day as needed.
They say that all the time. They've never happened.
All right. I like Kyle's whisper voice. We should tell people sometimes when we're recording this, if I step away for a moment and come back, Kyle will act as if nothing was going on. But when I come back later to edit the episode, I'll hear Kyle whispering things to me like, "You're going to hear this when you're editing." And, "Hi, I hope you're having a good time editing, Jeff." So this is our life.
That's the thing that happens. But no, I was letting them in on a secret, how they always use this cover your butt language. And I don't think there's been an example of something getting rid of a virtual queue and bringing it back.
Nah, but they love to cover their butt. But that's like, they have that tattooed on their bodies. Cover your butt. Anywho, is it on their butt? Maybe it's on their butt. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Anyway, guests will still have the option to purchase an individual Lightning Lane arrival window for this attraction. Of course, but don't, because number one, don't encourage that. But number two, if it's moved from virtual to standby, the standby ain't that bad. And I'll tell you, granted, it was a very rainy day, but the standby queue, I was there, said 55 minutes. It took less than 20. So obviously that's extreme. It's not going to happen every time, but it moved pretty quickly. So yeah,
I do wonder, based on the pricing, they're regularly pricing this at or below even Radiator Springs Racers. So I wonder if this will eventually just get swallowed into Genie Plus. I think that's probably the next milestone for it. I don't think that they're going to maintain 2 at this point.
What I think they're probably going to wait to see, and what I'm wondering if this is happening, do you think just people who, aren't Magic Key holders are just waiting for Mickey's Toontown to reopen before they book that trip or, splurge and buy the tickets to the park? Because this is kind of weird, right? Like, this was a huge attraction.
Well, it's a huge attraction, but I think when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Just because it's a large capacity attraction. So with Disneyland, because you do have that local centric thing, you do have that really high, think of how long the lines were for previews of Little Mermaid. And then, after, I think it was down to 20 minutes to half hour, maybe after the first couple weeks. And then from there, it's always a 10-minute wait. So this is kind of the trajectory. You just have that kind of insanity at the beginning. And I think it's obviously already tapered off. I think it'll stay moderate.
Less than a month is a very short period of time, though. I think there will be an uptick once Mickey's Toontown reopens. But you put the fear of God in me when you just said something. You said this is a high capacity attraction. I hope nobody's listening who makes these decisions. But oh my gosh, can you imagine if in the future they're make low capacity attractions so that we can sell Lightning Lanes? That would be devastating.
Well, they already have it. Then when you hear Crush's Coaster is coming stateside, you'll know.
Oh, gosh. Terrible. So, yeah, there's that. And hey, listen, it's a fun attraction. It's really fun. I've done both coasts now, and it's the same attraction. The queue is the big change in it. I think Mickey's Toontown is a better home for it. I was really hoping they changed the Daisy section, just because I feel like most people don't like it, and it does feel just different than the rest of the ride. So I was really hoping we'd get an update to that, but it's not. It's the same thing.
Well, they did add a sign for it in Toontown, so now it makes slightly more sense.
They added a sign for what?
In Toontown, there's Daisy's dance school or whatever.
Oh, they put it on one of the buildings?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I think Mickey's Toontown is a great fit for this attraction, and yeah.
Have you seen the Walt's Barn reference in Toontown?
No.
On the hills, there's a barn that we did a side-by-side, looks exactly like Walt's Barn.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Mickey's Toontown reopening. I think this attraction belongs there. I think it deserves an update. It's been a long time. It's been looking faded for a while, and kids love it. I was there with my niece who's 10 years old, and It was like that classic thing of, we took you to a theme park to do attractions and you just want to sit on this phone and listen to the characters on the other end all day. Like, it was one of those classic moments where I'm just like, kids love this stuff. It's wild.
I also want to give a shout out. I don't think it's on our list, but did you see that picnic basket thing that they're doing?
No, what am I missing?
It's a plastic thing. It's got like a Mickey hand holding a picnic basket, and you get to choose like 2 or 3 food items. I think that itself is like $26, but then you can also buy like a blanket, a cool blanket to go with it. So you could have like a picnic in Centennial Park. I think it's actually really clever, and the price I think for both of them is just over $40, so it's not like insane. You also don't get a ton of food with it or anything, but
well, I mean, that's good enough reason for more green space at the Disney parks, don't you think?
yeah.
Thank God Downtown Disney's getting more green space too.
Yeah, they're going to have all sorts of, they're going to move away from this whole sippers and popcorn buckets. Now we're doing plastic picnic baskets.
Listen, I'm actually good with that. I'm so sick of popcorn buckets, and I don't know why I let it frustrate me. I don't like, if it's bringing people joy, fine, go ahead. I don't even, just change the name for me. Call it plastic statue, please. It's a plastic statue.
It's part of the food and beverage It's not merchandise. It's food and beverage. So you have to use it a food item. It's not as bad as the beignet holder. Remember the beignet holder? Jeff, come on now.
Oh, gosh. Anywho, folks, this is all happening. Anyway, Disneyland Resort is also updating the process of charging to your room for hotel guests. Guests wishing to charge items to their room at participating merchandise or food and beverage locations, for those popcorn buckets, must use the Disneyland app. Hotel room keys will no longer be accepted as a way to charge to the room. In order to access the charge to room option, guests must first link their hotel reservation in the Disneyland app, and then from the My Hotel Reservation screen, guests can select Charge to Hotel Room to pull up a barcode participating locations can scan. Now, Kyle, you wanted to discuss this one. What's got your skin crawling here?
If only there were some way I could link my reservation to like a band or something I could wear on my arm and then charge that to my room. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, could you imagine such technology?
I don't think enough people have Magic Band Pluses at Disneyland Resort.
Like if they're specifically like, that's one of the features that they don't have at Disneyland Resort that they do have at Walt Disney World. And so I want to know if this is moving closer to making that feature available or we're moving further away. But this sounds like so much more complicated. You have to make sure that the link, Disney also famously, the best tech in the world, this I can tell you, just outstanding, never fails at all. So you have to make sure that you link your thing and then have a clunk around to like scan a barcode instead of just tapping your room key. What? What is happening?
Yeah, I think it's one of those classic encouraging people to get in the app so that they can upsell you lightning lanes and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think it necessarily makes the system easier. I got to be honest, I very rarely use I check the app for wait times. That's basically it. Like, most times I don't even put a park ticket in the app. I'm just like, I'd rather take it out of my wallet and scan that. Like, that's just as easy to me as take it out the phone, opening that app, finding the right screen. In fact, it's less easy.
And that's one of the instances where, Mike Celestino says he actually really enjoys having a Magic Band Plus because he likes just tapping instead of fumbling with his phone. So that's why I do wonder if that's the way that it works with passes, where you can either do it on your phone or you have the Magic Band, if maybe we are going to get that integration, which I think, yeah, even if not that many people use it, I think for the ones who do, it's a big advantage.
Yeah, I guess, do they want to invest in that? But like you said, the tech's there. Listen, I talked about in the scripted part, the Magic Band Pluses are now being used for some interactive stuff.
Some pretty weak interactive stuff.
But it's there. You know what I mean? Like, they have the ability to do stuff like that. It's funny, I have a Magic Band Plus because I was given one, but I never bring it. I used it like that time it was given to me, and I've never brought it back to the resort with me. I just never think to, and don't really feel it's all that useful. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to bounty hunt whenever I get there. I do have one that I bought on sale from Shop Disney because it was like much more reasonable, like $15 or $20 after all the discounts. So I have a Star Wars Holiday Magic Band Plus.
The Star Wars Holiday Special Magic Band Plus?
Not a Star Wars Holiday Special, but a holiday themed one. It's got some holiday Ewoks on it and stuff like that.
Nice. I like it. Also related to Disneyland hotel news, the villas at Disneyland Hotel will be opening this September, and the Disney Parks blog recently shared a first look at some of the themed rooms. The villas at Disneyland Hotel will blend timeless Walt Disney Animation Studio classics with contemporary designs. In the new tower, guests will find a duo studio themed to the animated classic The Jungle Book. Deluxe studios, which will sleep up to 4 guests, will be themed to Sleeping Beauty and The Princess and the Frog. 1- and 2-bedroom villas will also be available, sleeping up to 5 and 9 guests respectively, and sporting themes inspired by Fantasia and The Princess and the Frog. These villas include a washer and a dryer, a living area, and a full-size kitchen. And to really take your vacation to the next level, you can book a 3-bedroom grand villa, which sleeps up to 12 guests. The first floor of the 3-bedroom grand villa features a full-size kitchen, large dining area, and a double-sided fireplace connecting the living area to a private outdoor balcony. The primary suite, inspired by Bambi, will also be found on the first floor. Up the spiral staircase, guests will find 2 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms inspired by Frozen and Moana, as well as a full washer and dryer on the second floor. Reservations for the villas at Disneyland Hotel can be made beginning on March 15th for Disney Vacation Club members. This is, more DVC, which is constantly needed, which is good. It's really interesting though. I just feel like there's been a lot of complaints lately about like kind of the generic looks of Disney hotels, and I mean clearly Disney is hearing this feedback, but at the same time rooms are often booked, so I'm trying to figure it out. Like
these look nice to me. I people said, "Oh yeah, it looks like a Marriott." I'm like, I don't know of any Marriott that has, well, first of all, a kitchen. Maybe there's the resident suites, but I think there's enough. I think they look nice. I think they have nice little touches. And I try to think of like what, I've never been into another room. I think I might have been in one room at the Disneyland Hotel. I can't remember what's in it, but what's so special about that?
Well, I think they've kind of stripped down all of their hotels for the most part. Like, for instance, you look at these photos now, and having recently stayed at Disneyland Hotel, like the covers on the beds are all like just white sheets, essentially. Now, I have on my bed in my bedroom an old bedspread from the Disneyland Hotel, and it's this beautifully ornate bedspread with all Disney attractions and stuff on it. Like, they definitely used to be more Disney-centric, and a decision was made just kind of make it more simple where we can use the same bedspreads and stuff for the hotel. The changes are like pictures and small little touches and details. So I get it. They've definitely like dumbed down the Disney in hotel rooms. My whole thing is like, I guess they just don't care, and it doesn't seem to be affecting sales, right?
I guess so. I guess that's what it boils down to. But I do think that the way they integrate it, in at least some of the photos I've seen, like, yeah, sometimes it looks like just a picture on the wall. But there's other little, and the stuff that I've seen mostly, it's like all sorts of other like little touches, and I'm sure there'll be more because you're only seeing one angle for the most part in these like renderings.
I'm always curious, like, how they decide what characters they're going to put, because, like, Jungle Book feels really random. Nothing against the Jungle Book, but it feels random.
Well, it's funny because in the article I saw, I think Jungle Book was the first one. I'm like, oh, maybe they're kind of like, maybe they're going to have 3 different types of themed rooms. There'll be ones that tie into the Adventure Tower, ones that tie into the Frontier Tower, one the Fantasy Tower. And then I'm like, oh, no, never mind. That's not what it is at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about the name of the tower. I get it. It's not like the standard hotel rooms, but given the Disneyland Hotel has a Fantasyland Tower, an Adventureland Tower, and a Frontier Tower, I really wish this was a Tomorrow Tower. I just think that makes the most sense.
It does, but I think they should save that to be an actual, like, part of the rest of the hotel. I kind of picture this as being, like, I mean, not a boutique, but just kind of like the same way that Bay Lake Tower. It's kind of part of the contemporary, but it's its own thing. So that's kind of how I view this.
It is, like, very much, it has boxed in, like, the pool, essentially. So it's It is different, but it is very much part of that hotel. It's not really like a separate offshoot. So I don't know. Listen,
I don't know.
It looks like
At the Park MGM, the top 4 floors are different hotels. So I guess I'm just kind of used to other hotels being part of one hotel, but they're, different experiences and totally different like looks and everything.
Yeah, it'll be great once construction's done. It has been a bit of a construction zone over there for quite some time at this point. And Disneyland Resort definitely needs more DVC rooms because those ones at the Grand Californian book up really quickly. So it's definitely a welcome thing. And yeah, coming this September. Now, moving on, folks, it is March, and March is a live stream Ask Me Anything month over on the Disney Coast to Coast Patreon page. This live stream will be taking place later this month, so there's still time to sign up and join us. Now, Kyle, if you could ask me anything, what would you ask me?
Okay, Jeff, I have a question for you. It's very serious. I need you to answer as quickly as possible. Chip or Dale?
Now, that is a great question, Kyle, and I'll tell you what, if this was a live stream Ask Me Anything session, I'd answer that question for you, but it's not, so you'll just need to sit there and wonder. Now, folks, don't just sit there wondering like Kyle. Join me for this month's live stream Ask Me Anything by clicking the Patreon link in this episode's description, and hopefully I will see you there. Okay, now for some more news. D23, the official Disney fan club, and Disneyland Paris are inviting D23 Gold members to join for a 2-day adventure celebrating the grand finale of the resort's 30th anniversary, featuring the uniquely iconic attractions, shows, hotels, and offerings that have become staples of the Disneyland Paris experience. Now, there is a bunch that goes into this, tons of details, but some of the highlights is there's a guided tour of Avengers Campus with Walt Disney Imagineering, exploring the brand new land and learning about the story and details, big and small, right from the talented Imagineers behind Avengers Campus at Walt Disney Studios Park. You also get to see Avengers Power of the Night reserved viewing, enjoy the nighttime spectacular drone show there. You can also do a walkthrough experience of Ratatouille the Adventure with Walt Disney Imagineering, complete your epic adventure, and walk through the original Ratatouille attraction after the park closes with an exclusive hosted tour from Walt Disney Imagineering. This is taking place April 12th, which is the actual 31st anniversary of Disneyland Paris, and April 13th. It is sold out, so I couldn't find a price for this. Did you see a price anywhere?
We did have one. It was 500 something, I think.
That actually sounds... Oh, but that didn't include hotel and stuff.
Doesn't include hotel, but it did include tickets and food.
Okay.
Or, whatever food during the day.
This is interesting to me, though, just because I feel like they've been celebrating the 30th of Disneyland Paris forever now and keep, adding on these little finale bonuses. Wasn't, the drone show, a finale bonus that was added on not long ago?
It was called the grand finale is what it was.
Yeah.
That they did the past few months. So, yeah, it's kind of like... I know the 50th at Walt Disney World has gone on for 18 months. But yeah, they haven't had a final push really, aside from, some reminders hey, all this stuff is glowing away on whatever.
Yeah, I feel like they're really doing up the 30th at Disneyland Paris even more so than the 50th at Walt Disney World.
The 30th at Disneyland Paris was better. Better songs, better offerings.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Just wait for the 50th at Disneyland Paris.
Whew. I've been there for my first time going was for the 25th or, thereabouts. And then got to go for the 30th. I wasn't there for the 30th itself, but I was there for the kickoff of the celebration. And isn't that just as good?
It is weird. I remember the 60th for Disneyland. I was there for the kickoff, which was that May day, which was a 24-hour day. And then, of course, got to go back July 17th, of course. And yeah. There's always multiple anniversaries, but this is the actual end of it. And I like that they're doing a big 30th farewell right as it turns into the 31st instead of 6 months later.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And I wish that I could have gone to this. It sounds like a really cool event. Walking through Ratatouille, it's not the most exciting attraction to go through since it's mostly screens, but there's some physical things. I think it'd still be pretty fun.
Yeah. So that's happening. Before we go, I do want to mention, so Kyle, we talked about Disney Plus last week or 2 weeks ago, I think, and how I was saying, I dropped down to the ad level and I was like, they better not
couldn't get on Roku.
Yeah, and the whole Roku thing. So I did discover, yes, they will interrupt your movies with ads. This isn't just topping the movie with advertisements. Nope, you turn on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and they're interrupting. And I'm livid. Can I tell you? I know there's an option to pay more and get no ads, but I hate that they've done this. And frankly, we'll never watch a movie again on Disney Plus unless it's a Disney Plus original. And
How often were the ad breaks?
I mean, often enough.
Yeah.
Put 5 minutes of ads at the top. I don't care. And I don't even care about ads in TV series. Like, TV series are written very differently. Perhaps people don't know this, but like, they're written to have breaks. It's a completely different writing structure than a movie. So to have an ad in a TV series, even if it wasn't originally intended to have commercials in it, it's still written in that structure. Movies are not. Movies are meant to be seen beginning to end. This is terrible. I'll tell you what, you know how like there's the big push from directors and filmmakers and such to be like, no, I want my film on the big screen. I don't want it to go direct to streaming. This just made it way worse to know that, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but let's say half people who have Disney Plus have the ad version now have to see my movie for the first time, not only not on the big screen, but with commercial breaks. That sucks.
Might as well just watch Pluto TV instead.
I mean, you might as well, right? That's free. By the way, no relation to Disney, even though the whole Pluto thing. But yeah, it's kind of infuriating. I do feel like, and I know they won't do this, but I feel like a happy compromise would be like, hey, if it's a Disney original movie made for Disney Plus, the first month we'll only put ads at the top of the film, or even if it's the first week, I don't care. This infuriated me, not gonna lie. I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't deal with that either, honestly. So I'm glad that I locked in my year. We'll see what happens after that. I've been cutting all sorts of subscriptions lately. Did I tell you that I canceled my D23 membership, by the way?
Did you really? I can't do that. I'm a day one charter member. You were
I am too.
Why did you get rid of it?
Well, I mean, technically I have until the 1st.
I was going to say, how could you have done it? Because it hasn't even come up yet.
Well, I canceled the auto renew. Yeah.
No, you need to renew.
No. I don't need the magazine. Like the past couple years I stayed on because I liked the gift. This year, this gift set that's just a stupid Mickey statue, I don't need it, Jeff. Why am I paying them all this money to like $100-something a year to just hold my special status in hopes that one day they'll give me something cool because of it? It doesn't make sense to me anymore. I don't go to any of the events. I go to the expo, but I work the booth. And I don't read the magazines, and I'm not happy with the member gift this year, so it just didn't make sense.
Because as a D23 member, you could have gone to Disneyland Paris for the 30th anniversary finale.
Yeah.
But I didn't. No, I get you. Listen, I haven't done a D23 event in a very long time, unless it was, for a special circumstance. But I haven't like bought a ticket to one in a long time. So I do get you. I do like the magazine, but I don't read them. I think that they're lovely.
I feel the same way. It's a beautiful magazine. I'm glad it exists. Give me the option. If I could pay $50 to just have the status for a year and not get the magazines and not get the gift even, I would probably be more inclined to do that than pay $110 and get the magazine and just trying to extend my day one, hoping that, one day they'll be like, here, Kyle, you get this super cool, amazing thing that you actually want, and you're not going to sell on eBay or leave in your closet collecting dust.
I listen, I understand. I have not gotten to that point yet, but I have gotten to Disney Plus with ads. So I've reached that level of frustration. But yeah, I do feel like the whole ads during the movies thing is just to encourage people to upgrade. But
I do remember like back in the day, I guess maybe it doesn't happen because I watch Hulu on my TV now, but when I'd watch on my computer, I'd be so jazzed if there was a thing like, would you rather watch this ad now? And then we'll give you an ad commercial free rest of the program. I'm like, yes, please. Thank you so much. I'd sit there and refresh for a few times, see if I could get that.
I remember when Love Victor was on Hulu only, and I had the ad version of Hulu, or actually I was borrowing the ad version of Hulu from someone else. And I had to watch Love Victor with ads, and then when it switched to Disney Plus, I was like, I could watch season 3 of Love Victor with no ads. Yes. Well,
Same with Boy Meets World for me.
those days are gone, Kyle. Those days are gone. They're gone.
Those were the days.
Once again, the musical episode of Disney Coast to Coast is today, and most of the time it's not even me singing. So,
Well, you know what's going to happen now is our season finale is going to be an entirely scripted
Musical?
opera we're going to have it all written out and we're going to sing our reactions to the news that week.
I'll tell you what, if you write the script to the melody of a Disney song, I will sing the whole thing. I will do it.
I thought you were going to say if I write the lyrics, you'd write them. I thought I was going to be the top end to your Elton John, but I guess not.
No, just pick a Disney song, even just one story. We should try this sometime when when you're inspired and have tons of extra time, as I'm sure you do. Take a story and musicalize it.
We could have AI sing it for us, probably.
That is probably true. Yes. In fact, why am I talking anymore? We should just have AI talk. People would probably enjoy that.
I'm working on that we do a morning stream for Laughing Place and I do a weather report and I'm doing a whole bit where I had AI just read it badly and then I did it a little bit better and now I'm teaching it my voice so that it can do a weather report as me. It's very scary, but also very funny to me.
Oh my goodness. All right. The robots are taking over. Also, before we go, I want to mention I did check out Disney California Adventure Food and Wine. And I got to say, I am not a big food festival person. I don't typically enjoy the food that much. I liked almost everything I had, especially the Impossible Nacho Mac and Cheese was quite good.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds good.
It was good. I love Impossible meat. It's crazy that it's not, I can't believe it's not meat.
I agree most of the time.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I think when you cook it or sometimes I actually just crave having like a Beyond or an Impossible over a hamburger because somehow it feels like slightly lighter.
Oh, I pictured that differently. I thought you meant literally like on top of the hamburger, you would put an Impossible burger. I see. Instead of, you're saying.
Yes. Sorry. I still get cheese on it though. I gotta have cheese on it.
I'll get a double cheeseburger, please. But one patty should be meat and the other one should be Impossible. I should do that sometime at a restaurant and just see the reaction I get. Oh man. All right. So there's that. And also while I was at DCA, I do want to mention, I saw a ton of VIP tour guide plaids in training. It was like kind of crazy how many. I got to tell you, there's going to be a big push for VIP tours pretty soon. As far as marketing is concerned, I think they've reached a point of, you know what? I like this extra lightning lane money, but there's more to be made. And I think there's going to be a big VIP tour guide push soon. I was kind of shocked at how many plaids were being trained. It was wild. So keep your eyes out for that. Anywho, anything else you want to add, Kyle, before we get going?
I should really be more prepared for these on-the-spot questions, but no, I think I'm good.
I mean, it's really not on the spot when I ask it every time.
I wish more than anything.
More than life, I wish. Kind of sort of a Disney song right there now.
Almost.
Anywho, okay, that's going to do it, Kyle. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Bye.
To read more about any and all of the stories you've heard here today, simply visit the show notes link in this episode's description. You've heard the news, and now I want to hear what you have to say about it. What do you think about ROGERS the musical heading to Disney California Adventure? Are you hoping it sticks around for more than just the summer? Share your thoughts on that or any other topics mentioned in today's episode. Call 818-860-2569 and you may just hear yourself on a future episode of Disney Coast to Coast. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Don't miss any future episodes by subscribing and following Disney with a Z, Coast to Coast on your favorite podcast app, where episodes are available 24/7. Until next time, anything you need can be found in this episode's description. From additional information and links discussed in this episode found in the show notes, contact info to reach me, access to the show's official website, some free gifts from me to you, and so much more. So be sure to check out this episode's description. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!